If your seeking is intense enough, then you will be willing to drop any association, concept, or expectation that you have of enlightenment, and you'll be able to stay as if motionless with the truest sense that you know, without defining what that is, not giving it a word. So to remain as if motionless, without any interest in anything else, without any excitability for enlightenment in this or that shape, without any temptations ruining your stillness. You, like a statue molded around an object, frozen in time, maintain nothing but an awareness of the truest, stablest sense that you can identify. If your seeking is intense and willing to stay with just that, and the things that delude you, the subtle concept that confuses you, that makes a distinction that is artificial and non-existent between enlightenment and non-enlightenment, between this form and that form, between having it or not having it, will disappear. So to be so stable and motionless in your seeking that you're no longer seeking. It's like an awake death, a deliberate, awake death of all motion in any direction, of any concept or imagination. And the means to that motionlessness is not to try to stop the mind, but to hold on to the truest sense you know, and only that. For long enough for the seeking in form to evaporate, revealing the distinctionless already here-ness, already accomplished nature of your quest. Then you can stay just with the truest sense that you know at the expense of all else, and the deconstruction will naturally occur of the false concepts because they simply will have no sway over you. They will come, but it's like you have a shield around you, and they bounce off as you stay like a statue molded around an object. You stay with that object. It's like a concentration not of the mind, but of the essence. And another way of saying this is you simply say no to everything that's not naturally this truest sense. You seek intensely enough to where you can actually channel that into stopping the seeking. Whereas I usually don't recommend that, because the seeking is the life force. It is what guides you to source. But when that seeking is so alive that it's more all-consuming than a relationship, than your finances, than who you can become in the world, then you can take it even to this simple truth, whatever it is, no label. is more important even than my enlightenment, my imagined enlightenment, my visualized enlightenment, my hoped for enlightenment. All these associations, you're saying no to those imaginations by means of motionless clinging to non-seeking, aka the truest sense that you know. Just that, the expense and exclusion of all else. It's a sacrificing of all fetishes, including and especially the spiritual fetishes, the obsessions, the visualizations, the ideologies, the beliefs, the conclusions, the hopes. Enlightenment is not spiritual. It's not enlightenment even. It's not a thing. It cannot be imagined. If your seeking is pure and intense, you can stay in the sober essence of life itself at the expense of all distractions. They just float off of you. They are dispelled by the power of your motionless determination to not move, left or right, up or down, into enlightenment or delusion. It's to stay in the center of every appearance, the empty center of the wheel, and to stay just there, to have faith in just that, to hold on to just that. No entertainment. Colors give you nothing. Shapes give you nothing. Pleasure gives you nothing. Validation from others gives you nothing. It's a painful, foolish dream that deludes you into suffering, sorrow, irresponsibility, lack of integrity, and disconnection from God. Be motionless like a statue. Give meaning to nothing. It's like, I think Hafiz said, I felt the need for a great pilgrimage. So I sat still for 3 days, and God came to me. What you will realize from this is that nothing makes a difference to this. So I'm not suggesting that you lock yourself up in your room physically for 16 hours a day and then sleep for the remaining 8 in the same room. I'm not suggesting you stop eating or living your life in the relative sense. But even throughout that, you can internally hold on to that motionlessness, which doesn't indulge in any meaning. So you can be out there, live your life as is needed, as is guided, as feels inspiring perhaps, but without any meaning giving to it, what you want to watch for, what you want to remain stoic towards, disinterested in, is meaning, importance, temptation, projection, outsourcing. And by staying aware of the truest sense that you have, call it the sense of being, if you will, a knowing of reality, and not adding any meaning to anything, not giving that any picture, and not being fooled or tempted by any image or meaning in your life. You can maintain that sense while doing groceries or hanging out with a friend. You can keep that internally. And when you're by yourself, you can intensify that. And it doesn't have to take long for the rest to then deconstruct. This could happen within an hour if you're sincere and intense about this. But I'm not suggesting that you stop living your physical life, just to be clear. This is an internal focus. But yes, do have your meditative moments where you intensify around this. But then don't make anything bad out there, because that's still giving it meaning. When you need to go for groceries to get your food, go to groceries to get your food. Smile at the people that you meet, but keep an awareness of not being fooled by anything. So you always have this core. Let God come to you. Stop projecting what enlightenment is. Just become nothing by harnessing all your interest only in the sole sense of the realist thing. It can even be nothing, but this realist sense you have access to, at the expense of all else. Not making anything wrong out there, because that would also be meaning, but not indulging anything either. Not being entertained by colors and shapes and sounds and opportunities. It's a sacrifice of all opportunities. That's the intentionality, that's the attention. We wish to make true spirituality, the true direct knowledge of God, commonplace knowledge. Because this is about accessing the real self, the freedom, the potential, the possibility, our understanding of God. That's what this tour is all about. It is about returning God to the people, which is already in the making in the collective consciousness anyway. We're just supporting its further ignition, its acceleration. And so can you, if you wish to participate.